Welcome to our event. This is Marcia.
And this is Dirk.
And we are on a mission to make companies more customer-centric. Thanks for joining us in this very important day. We've been working towards this for more than a year, and we are happy to be finally able to share all the good stuff with you.
And this is Dirk.
We are on a mission to make companies more customer-centric. In no particular order, but a million thanks for Andy, Crystal. But before we start the session, of course, I want to thank all these people that helped us and worked with us during this process so we can really make this happen. So in no particular order, million thanks to Andy, Crystal, Ali, Brian, Andre, Bob, Phil, Anya, Melanie, Charlie, Jessica, Ulrich, Thomas, all your input, hard work, and I believe that's how made this event truly possible here. So in the next hour, you're going to see a rich content, and we have content. We'll help everyone has something out of this session. And we are doing a case study first, and then we have a panel discussion, an excellent panel. We are going to present mabcx and officially launch our website and our first e-commerce product. So we couldn't be more excited. Dirk?
Yes, first of all, this is live. So you will see us switching screens, going to videos, going to the website, to the panel with a very complicated script for all. So we've done countless dress rehearsals, but and then there's little things that come up. But we've managed the first challenge, didn't we, Marcia?
Yes, yes.
So yes, thanks for handing over. So first of all, also from my end, thanks to the team. Marcia mentioned all those names, and I can only truly say you're awesome. It's been such an amazing ride and journey with you. And also, of course, hi everyone joining on the internet. Thanks for being here. So let me get into why we're here today and why it is hopefully worth your while to spend an hour with us today. So, well, here's the shortest version of that I can do. Bear with me. As MAB or Managing Across Borders, we have been supporting transformational processes for almost a decade. We were able to be part of great success stories. We've created mission statements, visions, strategies, engagement plans, and all these wonderful things. Some of our clients are here in the session today, and let me give a shout and appreciation to your trust and to your partnership. Now, we deeply enjoy our work, and we could probably continue doing exactly this for the next 10 or 15 years or just until, and we will. We don't give up on this, but still, we felt the urge to take everything to a next level, to take a next step, because we can do more. There are too many disengaged employees, too many missed opportunities, and too many unhappy employees out there. What if we could bring our knowledge, our passion, and our energy to more people, more teams, and more companies? Go beyond our reach, find a way maybe to even democratize the knowledge that we've gained over the last couple of years. This thought of reaching more people has been haunting us for some time. And then in parallel, about 4 years ago, one particular client approached us to help them improve their commercial approach. This started as a sales optimization program, which they, most of these things start like a sales optimization program, and then it morphed into a full-blown transformational project where we helped them reimagine their customer experience. And it wasn't us pushing this, we were learning on the go with them. At some point for Marcia and I, it was like going back to university. It was like drinking from a fire hose. It was an intense learning curve. And the rest is almost history. We've built some really, really strong skills in the customer centricity arena, and in a way it also transformed us. And it's been a great story. And it's like Humphrey Bogart's last line in Casablanca, Lewis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Marcia.
Yes, and in fact, it has been the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Our skills to engage people for strategy work miracles in the world of customer centricity. And I say this with some pride, and I believe we really cracked the code. Now we just had to solve an idea to get better reach, and that led to mabcx, and this is what you're going to see today. So stay with us when Dirk takes us into the world of the airline customer experience, when we discuss with industry executives, and then we launch our website and present our solution to you.
It says case study to the bottom right, but basically the following presentation is meant to prime you as listeners for a discussion about customer centricity. In principle, always, there's no straight line from wherever you are today to a future version of your company that puts the customer at the core. It is always a journey. And as such, you must face unexpected challenges, like we did with the Echo, it was a small one, go through some rough waters, and to have your faith tested occasionally. That's what we call change leadership. So in the coming, hopefully 10 minutes, I'll be disciplined. I will take you through some of the fundamental concepts of what takes you to generating more loyal customers, of creating a customer journey, concepts that we found to be highly effective vehicles to turn one-time customers into regulars. Now, let's get started. What you're basically looking at is a map of the New York City area. And if you look to the left, this is where my house is. And there's these 3 major airports. Most of them are very, very well known because at some point in our lives, everyone goes to New York just to see it. So there's JFK to the right with Delta and American Airlines using it as a hub. There's LaGuardia to the north, also the same as Delta and American Airlines. And then if you see the closest to my house, there's Newark Airport. And it's basically, there's other smaller airlines coming in and out, but it's all United. If you want to fly out of Newark, there's like a 90% chance you're seeing on a United flight. So if I wanted to get into JFK, and I've done this on occasion, it's just 50 kilometers, but it took me, the other day, it took me 4 hours. So I just don't go to JFK. And LaGuardia needs me to cross downtown Manhattan. So absolute no-go. This means for someone like me who's, flying a lot, going in and out, I'm a United customer because I have to. So why do I justify flying with United? Because frankly, in a way, it is embarrassing. Their customer feedbacks are just so bad. I researched a lot for this presentation, and it even hurt me to read the stuff. So in the green box, that is actually a thing that happened. That's highly publicized. They lose children, they kick service dog, they break guitars. If you Google or you go to YouTube and say United breaks guitars, there's even a video watched 23 million times about a band whose guitars were damaged by United. They will drag you off planes. That's the famous episode when United knocked a passenger unconscious and dragged him on his arms through the plane because he didn't want to give up a seat. They don't treat the employees well, and so on and so forth. So if you Google their tagline, their claim, which is "Fly the friendly skies," look into the white box. The first link that comes up is how United turned the friendly skies into a flying hellscape. And then there's more stuff on here. So and then the quote in the middle in the more peachy box, United is off the charts, worse than anything I've ever seen. That's from the former CEO of McKinsey Global. So this is someone who flies a lot. So it's not easy to say I fly United because frankly, nobody really is proud of flying United, even today. This stuff is maybe 2-3 years old, but so. Now, when we want to talk about customer experience vehicles, why is it good to use an airline? So top box on the left, airlines have a notoriously low margin, 6 to 8%. On average, they make just $6 profit per seat per flight. That's not a lot. So they don't have a lot of money. Secondly, there's only a limited number of routes. So it's not that they can do whatever they want. They have to buy those routes, but sometimes they have to give them up for antitrust issues and so on and so forth. And then everything is strongly regulated in that environment. The announcement, everything that happens on the plane, mostly everything on that plane is what the what the authorities ask the airlines actually to do. That is all safety procedure. So there's not much wiggle room if you move to the right for airlines to actually change the product or make it a different product from another airline. It's basically the same price, it's basically the same seat, it's the same safety, and they all have no money. But they all want to win and they all want to be the number one in the marketplace. So how do we differentiate themselves? So this is why airlines are a particularly great example to understand customer experience. Now, This is a little bit of an overwhelming flight, but I assume everyone in this session has taken a flight before in their lives. So, and if you quickly go with me through all the pictures starting at the top left, this is a familiar experience. It could be United or anything else. So we might be exposed to an ad, then we either use the app or the website to book the flight, research and book the flight. Then we go to the airport departure. Hopefully we hit the right entry to when we're on a huge airport. This is why there are these signs. And then we check in on one of those automated machines. Second row, then unless we're business class, there's still people helping us. But for coach flyers, there's a backdrop, which is usually automized. Then if you're a frequent traveler or you bought yourself into, you can get into a lounge. You see those crews running around the airport. And I think that's part of the experience. That's why I put it in here. Then there's the boarding process. And by the way, the boarding process is something where the airlines have a little bit of wiggle room to do different kinds of experiences. So this group of 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 is very united. Then the welcome in the plane, and that tells us something. That's not United, that's Tahiti Airlines. So I searched everything I possibly could with Google. There's no single picture of a United, flight attendant or captain welcoming you to the plane. That doesn't speak words, right? The seats, the entertainment, then you receive some service, the meals, then there's an exit. They send you, how you leave the plane. Then there's a survey, and then you might join the loyalty program or be already part of it. So when you look at this, this is a very, very familiar experience. There's nothing special about it. What we do in our world of customer experience, we take this and actually display it, the same kind of information, just in a technical chart. And then it looks like this. We divide it into phases. This is like, first is the awareness phase, then comes the commit and solution phase, the engagement phase, the realized value, and at the end is what we call voice of the customer. And all those little pictures that you just saw are just bullet points on this slide. So this gives us the opportunity to look at now here it is, the customer journey, because let me go back once, that is nothing else but the customer journey. Now that gives us the opportunity to look at the customer journey from a more technical perspective. And I have seen United over the years, because I just did the math, and you can look on the website. I think I've made 1.5 million miles on United in the last 10 years. So I'm really a loyal customer. I've seen them making changes to the customer journey. For example, I just wanted to book a flight for me and my family from Los Angeles back to Toronto. And so that's the ease of the booking process. And I've been looking at different options, Air Canada, which I'm trying to avoid for different reasons. Then there's WestJet and so on. And United, every time I went back to the website, my last search was already there. And if you have 3 children and you have specific travel dates and all of this, this is actually very convenient. This is pretty nice. Now, Air Canada, for example, does that too. They offer you even multiple, but the problem is from there, it's a broken link. So it doesn't really help me a lot. So that is nice. Every time I go to Expedia, it's like it doesn't know me. I have to start with my name, with my destination, with a travel date, everything. So that is a little example where United, in this case, have started to improve a piece of their customer journey. Now, and me being a loyal customer, I just went through the whole experience that I have with United, and I can see they worked on the company visuals with their new slogan. The website and the app really has had a lot of refreshes during the years. The ease of the booking is much better now. Then the check-in, the lounges have been renovated. See the entry, they're really proud of their entertainment. I highlighted the piece, the attitude here. Now attitude, see that's a thing. At United is like a little bit a box of chocolates, Forrest Gump. You never know what you get when you take the next piece. So you might have the most friendliest crew that you could possibly think of. And on the next flight, it's, you feel like you're the most annoying person as a passenger on that plane because they just don't want to deal with you. It's not reliable. So attitude, yeah, I feel like it's getting better, but it's still not reliable. And they've made changes to their miles program. By the way, attitude, Lufthansa, just for those. So Lufthansa have this smile that always stays up. They have perfect hair and they have the perfect things they always say, which is part of their customer experience. Now, being so United influenced and having this wild ride all the time. Sometimes Lufthansa for me is almost like a little bit creepy because they're so perfect. So here's my 10-minute marker, but it's not much more. So where does this come from? Why does United work on their customer journey? Who has those ideas? Who asks for changes like this? Where does the budget come from? And then, for example, we need a programmer for if you want to change the ease of booking. You need someone who changes the website and knows exactly what to do. It's looking through the eyes of the customer. Where does it start? I hate to say it. I like everything democracy and bottom up, but this stuff always starts at the top. This is Scott Kirby, CEO United. And if you just read the first 4 or 5 lines, this culture change about customers is going to be the key to our success because we need customers to choose us. And then he says things like, not just because we're so great. The key sentence is because we need customers to choose us. This is the emotional connection that he's trying to make with potential passengers, that they choose United because it's United. Now, from there on, it has to be brought to every employee, to every system, to every process. Why is that? Why not just the customer-facing personnel? Because, so again, I apologize, this is a little bit of a different way of looking at it, but you see the various moments they improved on the top. You see the website redesign. And to the left, you see all the internal departments at United that are involved with improving the customer experience. So when it comes to website and app redesign, probably finance has a say because there's prices in there. There's legal because you can make so many things wrong. There's IT, marketing, sales, operations, and maybe more. So this means there are a lot of people who never even face a United passenger in their professional lives, because of their jobs, like legal, IT, even marketing, but they are all together designing the customer experience. And now I think I've listed about 15 moments that matter. And for every moment along that customer journey, it's a different team improving that moment. This is why it's not enough if your customer-facing personnel has gotten the memo. It is very important that everyone in your organization understands what customer centricity is. That said, I just taken us in 12, 13 minutes through a customer journey, moments that matter, change leadership, culture engagement, the ecosystem is what you've just seen, system tools, customer feedback. These are basically the vehicles we're using in customer experience to create better relationship with the customer. And what we ultimately want to do is we turn them from a gem band. Imagine this gem band that plays the best concert they ever did on a Tuesday, but you go back on the Thursday and it's just more average. We want to go from there to being an orchestra, to making a performance that is always reliable and repeatable, like playing sheet music. Last slide for United. We decided to give United an mabcx score, which we developed. We'll come to this in a bit. That's our pyramid. It's customer experience is always in pyramids. Basis meets needs, easy and enjoyable. Those who have been exposed to CX, I know this kind of methodology. So we've used it for us and we customized it. And frankly, United, as you can see, they're still very product focused. I still don't feel them making the connection in the way that others do, like for example, Southwest. So I could continue talking about this a long time. So for us, loyalty is pretty low. That's the red triangle. It doesn't fill up because they're still product focused and they're meeting needs like many others. So that's the introduction. United case study, priming you for a conversation about customer experience. And from here, I would head back to Marcia, and she will be discussing this same topic with 2 wonderful guests. Marcia.
Thank you, Dirk. Thank you. And as Dirk said, we are going back to this pyramid later. You'll see more of this. Okay, so now it's time to invite our panelists to our conversation. So today we have the honor to have with us 2 accomplished professionals, Melanie Reinhold and Brian Fox. So Melanie and Brian, if you can join us on video now, so please. So while I introduce you, you will be joining in our video here. So Melanie is the head of marketing and sales services at BMW Financial Services, Switzerland. She has nearly 20 years of international experience within automotive industry in sales and marketing. She is currently based in Zurich and previously worked in Germany and China. Her primary focus are sales, marketing, CRM, analytics, and customer experience. She believes customer experience is a mindset. You need to feel it. And that's much more than integrating it in a management presentation. You need to like it every day. And now, Brian Fox. He is a business leader within over 30 years of experience in the food industry, fast-moving consumer goods across many food categories. As a CEO and throughout his entire career, he has always had the customer perspective in mind and led his organizations to be customer-oriented. Brian is a believer in lean practices that focus on building your business from the customer perspective. Welcome, Melanie and Brian, and thank you for being with us today to share your experience and wisdom.
Thank you.
Good. So I'll start with you, Melanie, now. So how important is for you that everyone in your organization walk in the shoes of your customers?
Yeah, for sure. It's a very important topic for us. You know, BMW, we are offering emotional, fantastic products, but not only us, also our competitors are very, very strong. And that's the reason why we had been looking for a differentiator, really to find something different from the other. And here for us, it's like we have seen for United before, it's customer centricity. And I think here for customers, it's important to understand for us, for BMW Financial Services, it's not just the consumer, but it's also our dealer partner. And it's a cultural topic that's relevant for the whole organization. And before, in the first thing, you think it's just a marketing topic or a little bit operation, but it's really relevant, like we have seen before, for the whole organization, also for accounting, for controlling, for the risk team, because we have to work on the whole customer journey. And what everybody needs to understand, at the end of the day, it's the customer who pays our monthly salary, because they need to buy our products and services. And if they don't like it, then we are not successful. And we are currently in a transformation process. We really try to generate or to bring in this outside-in perspective. And that's also challenging for all of us, because there are new questions which we have to ask. So do we know our customers? Are they happy? Are they really, is customer really the king? Really always? What can we do to surprise them? It's really to change the whole mindset. And one of the most important questions for us is why we are still losing so many customers. Why are we not able to loyalize all of them? And that's the reason why we need the whole organization with a lot of power, with a lot of emotion, a lot of passion. And we believe because that happy people lead to happy customers. Wow. And that's the reason why everybody needs to walk in the customer shoes.
Yeah, amazing what you said. Thank you, Melanie. It's about all people. So we are going to go back there. So you said the customer, and you are in a financial services in a huge organization, and you said that everyone needs to be looking at that. And Brian, how important is for you that everyone in your organization walk in the shoes of your customers?
Yeah, it's a great point. And I will tell you, I've been fortunate to be a part of really small companies that started up and grew big, and I've been a part of really large companies. And we tend to, in the food business, because we tend to market products with vast scale, and I'll pick on one for a moment, pasta, meaning that it goes from all the way across the country. It can be a global product. We can import it from Italy, those kind of things. It's very easy to be product focused in those categories, because as a company, somebody had the passion to develop this product and had a passion to try to perfect this product and bring it to market. It's very, very easy to have that product focus overwhelm our thinking. And instead, we have to be much more customer focused. And for most of us in the food business, there are two customers. There's the retailer, and then there's the consumer. And so how do we create products that appeal to both of those customer elements? Just like Melanie mentioned at BMW, they have dealers as customers and they have consumers as customers. And most of us have, or in a lot of industries, we have those two sets of customers. And most of the time they want the same things, but in certain cases, they can be different. And so spending your time trying to understand those needs is absolutely critical. And what really is a key in creating differentiation in your business compared to the competition.
Wow, that you brought amazing similarities between the two business, industry, automotive and food, but these multiple channels and looking at all these channels as customers, but also having the channels, seeing the end customer the same way you see as a company. It's very complex, and it's really important how you gave your examples in terms of how you do that. And actually, the next question is about your employees, but I will extend the question actually to the channel, because when you say what successful things you've done as a leader to motivate your employees to focus on your customers. I'll start with you now, Brian. And when you have this channel in the middle, so can you give us the two perspectives, the employees, the people working with you, but also your channel, please?
Yeah, look, I think it's very easy for employees to become very functional and internally focused. So let's pick an example here. If you're in finance, you can be very focused on delivering your financial results for the period, or making sure that accounting is working the right way and that invoices are being processed and paid. And so what you have to do is you have to teach those people how they impact the customer, because sometimes it's not easily intuitive. And because you can be very functionally focused, you can lose sight of the customer from those perspectives. So I think teaching the people why the customer is so important, how even departments that may seem far removed from the customer are still important to the customer, teaching them that why, that's one of the ways that you motivate people to become more involved and take that customer mindset. And to play that further, as we talk about primary customers and secondary customers. So our primary customer for food is maybe the consumer, but the secondary customer may be the distributor or retailer. Well, certain distributors or retailers are going to want to have certain needs met, whether that is delivery schedules or fill rates or other aspects that are very, very important to them, case pack sizes and things like that. You have to look at how do I meet that need and make it work for that customer, even though the consumer won't care that the case pack is a 12 versus a 20 or a 6 versus a 12. The consumer doesn't care about that, but the retailer does. So really trying to pick apart those individual needs and figure out how you can satisfy both of those is just absolutely critical. And getting everybody in the company involved and thinking about those points of view is extremely powerful.
Thank you, Brian. It's really like a matter of relationships, right? Mm-hmm. And inspiration. So Melanie, what about you? So what successful things you've done as a leader to motivate your employees to really focus on your customers?
It was not just me, because for us, this whole topic of customer centricity is really a main pillar in our Swiss strategy for financial services. And that really helps. And we also combined it hand in hand with the cultural change program. And secondly, it starts with me or with us as a leader, because you need to understand and you really need to believe in the power of this topic. You need to feel it. Sometimes it really needs to hurt if you're getting a complaint from a customer. It's an emotional topic. It's not just the PowerPoint, because I also had some discussion a couple of weeks ago with a colleague in our headquarter department in Munich. And she told it, yeah, but I've integrated this topic on page, I don't know, 120 in the presentation, but it's not the paper. So they really need to feel this passion or have this passion for customer. You need to burn for this topic. And you really need to do that every day. So it's not a topic which you start and you just make one presentation. You need to go on and on and on. It's really not a sprint, it's really a marathon, and you really have to mention that topic again and again. And you need to be a front runner and a role model, really have the flag for the customers always up, because otherwise you won't be successful. And thirdly, I had been looking for partners in crime. So on the one hand side, top management, which I always pushed and asked them to present the topic and take the topic with them. If they talk to our associates or with our dealer partners or with the customers, to really to address that point. And on the other side, I also involved the team. We created it's called customer experience group, really a whole bunch of people, very diverse, heterogeneous group from the management, but also our normal associates who really had a passion for customers. And within this group, we had been working on different kind of aspects. We prepared events, and that's really helpful to have this kind of crazy group to reinvent the topic always again and again.
Great. So we would definitely have 1 hour or more just for this conversation, right? But fortunately, we have limited time. So I will end here acknowledging you're bringing a parallel perspective, and you just brought the leadership perspective, Melanie, in terms of how important it is to have alliances in the organization and other people. So as a leader, so is there one learning or best practice you can share about your experience in infusing this? You mentioned that internal alliances, and one more thing that you could share with us here.
Yeah, what we did many activities all around customer experience, but the last one which we made was some kind of a team approach or team event. It had been an agile approach where we split it up the team into groups. One team had been the understanding team, so they need to understand the needs of our customers, the needs of our dealers, and start to invent or start with to create some new ideas, what we could do to match the customer's expectation much better. And then we had the second team, they had to define the role of a customer ambassador, because our expectation is that everybody in the organization is a customer ambassador. So then we gave them, it was agile, they had 6 weeks, or we gave them in the end 8 weeks to prepare their approaches. And then we had a presentation in front of the whole team, we had some discussion, and then we started again with the new setup. Group number 1 switched to group number 2, and vice versa. And they went and dig deeper in all these topics. And that was really, in the end, we had some good ideas, but it was a little bit pity that we couldn't implement all of these ideas, but at least it was really good for creating this mindset changes in the organization. And I really have the feeling that the people now have the customer in mind.
Yeah,
it was just one of the examples.
That's so cool, because you like send people to experience, to really be there and have like a role in representing the customer and advocating for the customer when talking internally. So really bringing and infusing that. What about you, Brian? So what learnings and best practices you can share with us here?
Yeah, I would say a couple things, Marcia. First of all, how do you infuse that customer mindset in everything that we do? And what you have to realize is that we're all customers at some level.
Yes.
You know, as a CEO, in some way, you have a couple customers. You have your actual customers. You have your employees. You have a board of directors that you report to. They're all customers. So if you can get the organization to think about who their customers are, both internally and externally, it helps change and shape that focus to be much more of a service-oriented mindset. And I've seen really, really positive things that come from that. I would say secondly, there are line incentives across the company to be more customer focused in their mindset. So if order fill rates and delivery times are really, really important to your customers, how do you share that across the entire business and teach people how even somebody in a department that doesn't feel like it's connected to that is truly connected to that and helps us build that. So I would say aligning those incentives across the mindset. And then one thing that has been in the news recently that is a net promoter score. So net promoter score, I always felt like was, wow, that's a little bit, direct to consumer or more of an internet type of business score. And I go, no, it's not really, because if you ask your customers to rate you versus your competition or give you feedback as to how you compare to competition, most of them will gladly tell you about the things that you do well and the things that you don't do well. And so if you take those pieces of information, internalize them into your business and figure out ways to implement them and improve, you can make net promoter score. Again, that felt to me a little bit foreign, but there is a way to integrate that concept into your business and help it push you forward.
Very interesting, this perspective of how also to use metrics, right? Because you were measuring all the time your business, you want to meet the bottom line, but you brought a few important things. And thank you so much, Melanie and Brian, for being with us today. This is a few takeaways from this panel that I want to share here. So of course, it's my perspective, but I really want to, because this connects with what Dirk said before about his experience in debriefing what is the experience of an airline. And here you mentioned a few interesting things. So you said everyone needs to walk in the shoes of the customer. You both come from industries where the passion for the quality of the product, the engineering, the next big thing in terms of the product is really a passion for everyone working in the industry. But at the same time, you mentioned the end user, you mentioned the channel, and you mentioned that they are all customers. And if they are not happy with everything, the product can be the best, people can start looking at your competition and this harm your business. So thank you both for being with us. I hope we can have the opportunity to be together again in the future. So now I'm going to close the panel, and next Dirk will be back. And it's this part of the event where we are going to see the mabcx. And so now, Dirk.
Hey, I realize I can't operate any of these buttons on my computer with these gloves. I'll explain this in a bit. First of all, Brian and Melanie, that was wonderful. Thanks for joining. And Melanie, you really got me. That seat is really intriguing. I feel like I want to tell you all my secrets, like as if you were like a psychiatrist or something, if I had any secrets, of course. No, just humor aside, that was wonderful. Thank you so much for the discussion and for being here. So moving on, remember we said we wanted to increase our reach. Typically, the typical work that we do starts on more or less like a white piece of paper. We're going in, we understand, we listen a lot, then we bring in our knowledge and we develop something together. So if we want to have a greater reach, we have to do something that's faster, something that is more applicable right in the moment. And that's the idea of mabcx. And that's why I'm wearing bicycle clothes in a business presentation. mabcx has to do a lot with speed. Now, I'm a biker. I don't enjoy running very much, but over the course of the last couple of months, the team came up with the analogy of running, not biking. So I went all in. Let me just get the helm and the gloves. You don't need those for running. I think the bike shirt should be fine as a runner too. Okay, hopefully. So Marcia said I should leave the glasses. Oh, I think I'm a bit, hold on, there's something with the Zoom. Here we go. I should leave the glasses on. I hardly see my screen, but let's try it this way. So how does mabcx work? a lot of people is like, okay, I do get the idea, but what do you actually do? Where's the magic? Why are you so what is the output? What's the process? And we thought we're going to give you 5 minutes in terms of showing you what actually happens when we say we can set a company up for better customer centricity in 4 weeks. So it's just, this is 6 slides, but I rushed through. So there's a prep phase. And you remembered my United presentation where I said we need a sponsor, probably leadership team. We need people we need project managers. And then Melanie, I knew about the customer experience group, but maybe we're gonna borrow that term for mabcx going forward for a team of experts. So we have a quick prep phase in mabcx. We have a portal where we and the company meet, where all the documents are stored. It's a secure, certified portal, so no document goes anywhere but in there. So these are prep phases, communication, so that the sponsor, mostly someone like Brian, would tell his company, hey, I'm going to do a 4 weeks program with us. You might be invited to an interview, do a quick survey, because we want to improve our customer centricity. So that happens in the early phase. And now comes the runner. We start with a deep assessment, and we've done this for a long time. So we are using structured interviews. We are sending out a survey. We're using the documents, everything that's available. That is the first week. We're really busy, again, drinking from a fire hose, understanding the intricacies of what this company is about. Because then in week number 2, we spent most of that week to build the customer journey, which you've seen. It's the same systematic approach, same view that we use for the United presentation. We identify the moments that matter together with them. So here, that is top right. So you see green, red, and yellow. So for example, green means that moment that matters, like for example, a check-in at an airport is reliable and repeatable. And then we are very keen on so I'm just getting chats. LinkedIn is frozen. For me, it's okay, guys, just because I see the chat. CX personality is the type of company, the type of thing you want to represent towards the customer. So for example, Apple computers has a very different personality as opposed to, let's say, Walmart, or for the Europeans on the call, Aldi, a discounter in the food space, in the grocery space. In Apple, it's all about, very defined language. It's one-to-one relationships. It's a very guided experience. Whereas in a discounter grocery store, you just walk in, basically it's anonymous. It feels colder. Yeah, it's a different kind of experience. And when you talk to a Walmart or Aldi employee, it's not that they're really trained in saying certain things to you, because that doesn't matter. Communication is not part of that customer experience per se. And also we look at assessment. So that's week number 2. Week number 3 in MABC. So we show everything we do. You can see gate review to the sponsor and the project manager. Week number 3 is a leadership team meeting where we prime them for a customer centricity discussion. Then we take them through the results. And the greater part of that session is where we help them to make decisions where to start the journey or rejuvenate the journey. So we've done a couple of pilots with mabcx, and it works like a charm. So we've had one team that says, well, our sales follow-up is that bad as a moment that matters. It's the feedback from the customers is that terrible. So that's where we're going to start. And they pick 2 more moments that matters. So that's what's happening in week 3. And in week 4 comes our, I'm kind of starting to like the idea, customer experience group, our team of experts, which we have identified before mabcx started. We're going to train them in a whole day in detail, in depth of the concepts. We're going to work with them through the decisions of the leadership team. And then this is where really our magic happens. We set them up for implementation, because that's frankly what we've done the last 25 years. We know how to implement change. And that's the magic that happens in week 4. All of this, and we've done it a few times, and the results are always convincing. Companies are using the tools that we give them and continue exactly this work. Some of them are asking us, can you please stay on, maybe come in once a week? over phone. You know, this is a new post-COVID world. We don't have to travel, and help us to, you know, to keep the ball rolling. But basically it's built so that a company can take it from there and proceed. What we do as a standard, we follow up after 4 to 6 weeks, we stay in touch, but basically that's mabcx. And now comes the big reveal. Since I have to take this off, 18 minutes, our website is live. We've been working on this for, now it looks simple, but Marcia, first, hold on, let me list okay. We worked 4 to 5 months on this, and now finally we can reveal our website. I have an important message here. Okay, very good. It's just I have this. We're trying. The next time we do a live event, we're better than this, I promise. So let me hand back to Marcia that she can show you everything we've done on the website.
Okay, here we have our website. And so I want to present you that when you look at this website, so we spoke here about customer journey, right? And customer journey may see a comment that is very obvious because we know as customers where we go, what we do. But when we talk about customer journey, it is more a technical word or more a buzzword. What is that? So we work in the relationship business, and let's take customer relationships drive your business forward is where the journey starts in our website. And we want you to take your time, enter this website, and really explore every resource that we put here. Because when we created the website, we wanted to tell you a story. There is an educational aspect here more than just presenting the company. And it's always starts here. So let's start with the journey. So we say customer focus generates customer loyalty. Why is that? Because many of you probably are asking these questions, or someone is asking your question in your organization. Is the rate of your returning customers below average, industry average? Or do your customers only buy specialized products from you and everything else from your competitors? Does it feel like your customers is talking about competitors more than they are talking about you? Or do you offer products and services, but your business is not growing? So these are all problems that every company seems to be facing many, many times. But how you do that, right? So Dirk already presented this 4 weeks program to you, right? And I really want to show you one thing that our advisors, where we were building mabcx, they suggested that we could put a lighter version of one of our assessments available here in our website. So I either invite you to do that, but I will do this very, very quickly here, okay? So when you click Assess Your Organization, you are going to see an assessment that is open. For this, we don't ask any email or anything. You can do this yourself, right? And I'm going to do this assessment now as if I was someone in United Airlines, like Dirk just did that. He showed the pyramid there, but I'm going to simulate that situation here. And I'll go very fast, but you can take your time and do for your company or anything, okay? So how are you collecting customer feedback? In the case of United, I think occasionally, sometimes, at least as a customer, I got emails and I will answer B here. So how do you make sure that internal processes and projects are focused on delivering customer value? Okay, we are capability driven and focus mainly on improving our products and services. Yeah, that's true. That's one that I consider true for United. Is your company culture positioned around customer needs? To some extent, I would say, but most the organization focused on achieving internal performance indicators because everybody's measured, but the performance indicators may be a blessing or a curse, and Brian mentioned that in the panel. So to what extent do leaders demand customer focus from their people? I would say often takes a backseat compared to productivity and efficiency, because many times you have to measure and customer needs and customer focus stays not the priority. Is customer focus a top priority for your leadership team? I would say the leadership team talks about customers when there is a specific issue. So, and Dirk mentioned a lot of them for United. What type of system do you have in place that allows you to manage and document all information and interactions with your customer? We have common CRM in place. I would say this is the answer. Do you have KPIs in place that focus on customer satisfaction? Someone could say, not that I'm aware of, but let's say, yes, they are a highly regulated company, they have KPIs. How would you describe your customer journey? So let's say we are aware of our customer journey, most of important touch points. They define the touch points. And finally, when dealing with customers, are their behavioral standards or it is according to everyone's preferences? We have only a few mandatory behaviors. Okay, let's go. These are just like selling services, business to consumer. It's a large organization. Then you submit and instantly you see the pyramid. Okay, so here you have the result. So anyone responding this questionnaire can see and read the results. So there is no shame for being in the bottom of the pyramid, right? Many traditional companies are there, but there are many things that companies can do to improve their customer focus, right? And this is a great opportunity to really find the right path. So I will switch to Dirk now. One more thing I want to mention. At this point, you can even go to get more insights. And if you go to our resources page here, you see the link here on top. You can read many of our articles. You can find our LinkedIn videos here, the YouTube videos, and you can download the mabcx white paper. There are a lot of content here. You can get in touch. There are many, many things you can do. And Dirk will continue presenting here the website.
So the thing that we're really excited about is e-commerce. And it's our first venture into e-commerce as consultants and partners. So Marcia showed you the free assessment. It is a free assessment. And then we said, why don't we bake something out of all the surveys and assessments that we have to make it easier for leaders and leadership teams to come into our world, to understand what we're doing, and maybe prime, I've used this word quite a lot today, prime a leadership team to say, yeah, let's continue with the journey. So right now, it's, by the way, it's in beta version. Everyone who buys this now will get something that we lay our hands on for the next 10 days until the solution is fully automated. If you buy this, you can select the number of, you can put your leadership's email addresses in there. Everybody does a 30-question survey and has 3 parts. The one that you just saw, secondly, a cultural assessment and a change readiness. And it gives you 3 different scores with explanations, and then we add we gather verbatim comments from your team, and we put exercises into the report. So it's pretty low impact, but it is easy for you to get into a conversation with your team to say, do we have an issue here, or how good we are? So it's a very, very good, let's say, assessment of the status quo that you have as an organization. So that is online. This can be purchased, and I can tell everyone we will market this as much as we can because we truly believe in this. We've put months of work into that process. So going from there, see, we are in the process of building testimonials in there. So we have tons of testimonials. So one is in there now, and we'll be adding them not on a daily, but on a weekly basis. So this is one of our pilots, Stacy Peterson and her wonderful team at Conoils. Because we've trained hundreds of people on customer experience. This will be available later in November. You can buy a customer experience awareness training for up to 12 people directly from the website. That's in process. And then of course, the full package. If you say we're ready to do the 4 weeks, this will not be an e-commerce process for the foreseeable future, because of course that has a higher price tag. That's not a $500 program. This is 4 weeks of work from us. Until we have this up and running, and we're very confident, this will always be you getting in touch and us having a conversation with you. And if someone says, you know, all of this, I need a starting point, but I really want to do the assessment piece. Also, what our experts are working on right now, that you can build your own package. They say, I don't want the implementation piece, and I don't need you to talk to my leadership team, but what I really want are your assessment tools, and give us your version of what you see from the outside in terms of customer journey moment that matters. That because it is a refreshing and helpful perspective, someone comes in from the outside and to see what is good and what is potentially broken. So that's probably the most daring thing that we've done. We do have the content so much under control, and we're very, very confident. Oh, I found my video button. And we're very, very confident about the content. Now it's important that we feel this is our learning curve. Now the green screen disappears. It's our learning curve to get this out there. Final slide. This is basically a summary of what you've seen today. So we presented what we believe a wonderful, exciting website. Use the opportunity, go to the resources, download the white paper. By the way, in return, we would want to have your name and your email address. Then you'll see the loyalty pyramid down at the bottom with the 3 levels that we've defined. The higher you get up, the better the relationships that you build, the higher is the loyalty of your customers. Reliable and repeatable. We want to be an orchestra, not a gem band. Gem bands are fun, but you create loyalty if you're reliable and repeatable. Our products, you see on the top right, you see the customer experience vehicles that we use. Our mission, we want to become the center of competence or the authority for customer-centric behaviors. In the middle of all of this is our wonderful mabcx 4 weeks program. Marcia.
Thank you, Dirk. It has been an amazing, amazing opportunity to be working in this project and to finally be here today. So this is just the beginning. We are launching today. So, and as Dirk says here, become the center of competence for customer-centric behaviors. This is truly important for us. This is what we do on a daily basis, and more to come, more in our website, more in this LinkedIn page, and you hear from us. You have more panels in the future. So thank you so much. So this is Marcia.
And this is Dirk, and we're on a mission
to make companies more customer-centric.
Sorry, this is a game between the two of us.
Yeah. So thank you all,
everyone.
And I hope to see you all again soon. Okay.
And we delivered it, Marcia, in 62 minutes. Perfect.
Excellent. Thank you.
Excellent. Welcome. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Be safe.
Bye. Thank you.